Hello, this is The Harboring Light. I'm Mary. I give a conservative perspective about the world around me. As I like to do in the beginning of each episode of my podcast, mention social media. Now, social media, I will link that in this episode. And to add on to my social media, I am on Substack, and I have my writings on Substack. And feel free to check that out, and I will include that link. And so let's go to the audio platforms. I'm on Spotify for podcasters. I'm on Overcast. I'm on Audible, Amazon Music, Pandora, and I'm looking to grow to wherever you enjoy your podcast. I'm on that. Now, this episode has to do with the origin and everything else, and doing interesting take and a deep look into bobbing for apples. Let's get into this and let's talk about it. Now, let me start out by talking about my point of view of all of this, and before we get into everything with bobbing for apples. Now, I think that getting into tradition and folklore and history is a really important thing. And I think understanding your history, you understand where you're going. And I think understanding traditions and folklore within the traditions, I think that helps to put a perspective about the world according to what people think and see things. Now, what this means, what I'm saying is, and what I think this is, for me saying this, is it helps broaden your understanding of what you think things are about, and it helps you look past things from what you interpret it to be. So, for instance, you see things from the interpretation of a modern era from your point of view. Some people see technology as a given, where other generations don't see it that way because they weren't, and technology wasn't an everyday thing. And when the vast introduction of technology and all of the achievements of technology advanced, it blew them away. People who weren't necessarily using technology day to day, it was just very fascinating and appreciative. And I'm not saying that people who are introduced with technology early on and it's a everyday use for them are not appreciative. It's just a different perspective and a different understanding about things, and I think that's very helpful. So, let's get into it and let's talk about bobbing for apples. According to historical accounts, the tradition of bobbing for apples has been around for several hundred years and started in Britain as part of a courting ceremony that would reveal the romantic fate of those who participated. In one version of the ritual, each prospective spouse was assigned an apple, and the person bobbing would try to lay claim to their mate by biting the apple appointed to their lover. If the bobber successfully bit the apple on the first attempt, it was said that the pairing was fate by they were made for each other. If the bobber completed the second time on the second try, the potential mate would pursue the object of their desire, but destiny decreased the relationship to not last long. So, lastly, if the bobber Tried 3 times, the pairing was not meant to be. Another version of apple bobbing, according to historical accounts, had participants attempt to bite an apple before the other contestants, meaning they would marry first. It was also believed that if one placed the bitten apple beneath their pillow, their future beloved would appear in a dream. The courting ceremony of apple bobbing grew less observed by the 1800s. However, the game was later revitalized by Celtic Americans wishing to pay homage to their immigrant ancestors, and apple bobbing is now a popular activity during many autumn celebrations. So, that reaches the end of the Harboring Light. As I like to say, tune in, turn up, and definitely take care. Bye-bye now.